Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper. Nice to see everybody tonight out there in Facebook land. Gonna wait a little while, late for a little bit more time to join. It's just 8:30 here on this end. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today, I'm going to demo for you the box I made for this month's customer thank you. So these are super cute, really easy to make and fun. You can tell I had a lot of fun making them. So when you're on, let me know you're here. Hi, Renee, nice to see you. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let me talk a little bit about the paper that I used for my little boxes here. Let's get these off and let me show you more specifically. The box is 4 inches long, 1 inch wide, and 1 inch high. Okay, so it's a small box, and I have it tied here with some baker's twine. And it opens up the long way, which is a little unusual design. It opens up this way, and inside I have 2 of the caramel Lindor Truffles. Aren't they great? I love them because they were kind of the same color. So I thought they would be a great match. Now, sometimes I put the tag and I tie it onto the baker's twine, but here the box was so small, I just used a little dimensional and I put the tag right on the box. So then all you need to really do is just bring this baker's twine back up over the side of the box and you're all closed up again. So that is what we're going to make today. Very simple design, really fun to make. I put these little finger holes there on the sides to make it easier for the recipient to open and close. So I think they'll really like it. Hi, Karen, nice to see you. And Mary and Jody, thank you for joining. We're getting ready here to start. Let's talk a little bit about the paper that I'm going to be using this evening. Now, if you haven't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator, and I would love to send you the brand new Stampin' Up! Catalog for the spring. It's called the mini catalog. It goes from January through June. But now is a time that in the Stampin' Up! World, the demonstrators are very excited, and it's called Celebration. And that is a time from January 3rd to March 31st that for every $50 you buy of Stampin' Up! Product, either in this catalog or in the catalog, the big annual catalog, you can get 1 item out of the celebration brochure. And I'm kind of focusing on one of those items this evening. On page 10 of the brochure, you see there is this golden honey specialty paper. And my team and my friends who love to stamp really love this paper. And it is pretty nice. I really like it. It gives you kind of 2 options. And I have a pack of it here, of course. And on one side, the paper is black and white. So we have flowers and we have some stripes and some polka dots. And what's really fun with this is you can take your blends and color in any of the flowers or anything like that and kind of make it, a specialty paper of your own. But then the big wow is on the other side. Oops, not that one. All this paper has gold foil, and I don't know how well it's going to look on the video, but the paper has gold foil accents, and I love this one. And this is actually the one we use in this with this box. It's the gorgeous little bees and beehives, and they're all in the gold foil. So it's really, really pretty. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining. So let's go ahead and get started on our box. So remember, now this is a paper that is actually free to you if you buy a $50 worth of product. And it's called the Golden Honey Specialty Designer Paper. And there's even a stamp set in the main catalog with bees and everything. They're very much on trend. So the paper is very, very popular. All right, well, let's get started. Bring my box back in here. We're gonna start with a piece of basic black cardstock to make our box, and that is cut at 3 by 11. So this doesn't use a lot of paper. You can actually make two of these out of one sheet of cardstock. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in my scoring board. Here we come. Slide it on in. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to score on the long 11-inch side first. Okay, and on the 11-inch side, I'm going to score at 1, 5, 6, and 10. Nice and easy, no small fractions tonight. 1, 5, 6, 10. Then I'm going to turn it onto the short side, or as Mary would say, the portrait side, right, Mary? And we're going to go ahead and score at 1 and 2. And that's it. That's all the scoring we need for this evening. So very easy scoring. And don't worry about jotting down all these dimensions. They will be on my blog by the end of the week, in addition to the video that I'm making now. All right, so now here we got our basic black paper with the scores done. And what I'm going to do now is bring in my template that I like to do. And this is what we're going for. This is what your box is going to look like after you do your cutting. So before we start cutting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold and crease on all my score lines. All right, hope everybody's having a good day. Little chilly out there today, but I had a busy day making cupcakes and Stampin' Up! Deliveries and tutoring, so it was a great day. All right, so there I go. I did all my creases. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my scissors and let's turn it this way, the landscape way. And I'm going to go ahead, and if you notice here along, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical score lines. I'm going to cut up each of those vertical score lines and stop at the first horizontal score line. So I'm making the tabs that we're going to fold in for the box. And I like to, once I make the tabs, I cut in a little bit so the tabs will fit more nicely inside the box and the box will look much more neat and professional. All right, so there's my first side. And guess what, gang? We're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. We're keeping it easy here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up, and I'm going to make my little cuts right after as soon as I make that one. You can do it whichever way you like. I usually work on the tab and then go ahead and make my little trims there. All right, one more of those. And there we go. Pretty easy so far, not too much. So now if you look at my piece of cardstock and you look at my template, we got the same thing going on here. And that's what we're going for. All right, now before we fold the box together, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna adhere our designer series paper first. Let's bring in our model here so you can see what I'm working with here. You're going to need 3 pieces of the designer series paper. These are cut at 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then you're going to need 2 little squares cut at 7/8 by 7/8. And that's it. So look how the little bit of designer series paper you're using, because I know how much you ladies love your paper. So you can make lots and lots of, I made all these boxes with less than 1 12 by 12 sheet. So it's really nice. You can make a nice box and it doesn't take a lot of that designer series paper that we love. All right, so let's go ahead and stick them on. I'm going to use my liquid glue Tombow, but you know you can use whatever you like. And I'm going to pick the side that's going to be the top of my box. It really doesn't matter. Either one is fine. And I'm going to put this right on that top panel. I measured it so that it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's not that much smaller because I wanted to show off as much of the paper as I could on each side. Then this is the side of the box, and this is going to be the lid. So we're going to put that on the side of the lid. And then we're going to take the last strip of paper, and we're going to go ahead and let's turn it this way. And I'm going to adhere that to the other side of the lid. So these are the three pieces I just put on. This one here, and that one there. Okay, so now all we have to work on is the front and the back of the lid. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take one of the smaller 7/8 pieces of designer series paper, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to that little front spot right there, and here's going to be the back of the lid, and that's where my second piece is going to go, and that's it. That is all the designer series paper put on there. And I'm not really worrying too much about orientation because this paper, it really doesn't have a top and a bottom. Everything's kind of randomly placed on the paper, so it really didn't matter. So you'd have to be a little more careful if you had a paper that was oriented in another way, but I didn't have that with this one. So there we are. Now we're ready to go ahead and construct our box. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom of the box together first, okay? Now these two tabs and these two tabs connect to the bottom of the box. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow on our flaps, just like that. Then I'm going to pick up the bottom. I'm going to fold in the flap and then adhere it behind the side of the box. Now, if you see right here, I lined up the fold of the tab with the side of the box. And just hold it a little bit. Those of you that use the Tombow know how quickly it sets, so you don't have to hold it real long. So I'm just going to hold here a little while. And what's nice about it is you can slide things around a little bit and make sure they're just where you want them. And it gives you a little bit of leeway. So there we go. There's the front of the bottom of the box. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this end. I'm going to go ahead and slide that tab, fold it, and line it up with the side of the side panel of the box. Same thing over here. And hold. So now the entire bottom of the box is put together. Can everybody see that? How easy that is? Okay, now let's go ahead. We might as well go ahead and put our goodies in there. And what I bought were these fantastic Lindor Truffles. These are the caramel ones. They have all different colors, so depending on what your paper is, you might want to get a different color of the truffle. But these I thought matched so well. And there's enough room in there for 2 of the truffles. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and put in there. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to lay those inside my box. Okay, now I'm going to just fold over and close the box so I can get a feel for where that's going to land in the front. Okay, now I'm going to reopen. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow on the last 2 flaps. Okay, now let's think of what we did before, but this time I'm going to close the box and close the front lid down. And now I'm going to close down on both of the flaps and then close the panels, side panels of the box and hold. When you have the box with something in it, it gives you a little bit of a firm area that you can push down on. Because now that there's items in there and I can push on the side of the box and it makes sure that those flaps are nice and secure inside. So that's it. Can you believe it? Now, let me show you what else I did. If you notice here, I put 2 little places for the recipient to kind of put their fingers, and then they can open the box that way. And the way I did that is I took my 1/2-inch circle punch. You can get these from my online store. And I turned the box on the side. And I just went in, I kind of eyeballed it where the middle of the side of the box was. And I just punched. Okay. And I turned it to the other side. And I did it again. That's just a nice little added feature to make it easy so they don't have to dig at the box. Okay, so then I'm going to close it all the way. And there we are. Okay, let's go ahead and make the little tag. Now remember I said at the beginning of our time that the tag is actually connected to the box. I didn't make a tag that I sometimes punch a hole in and put it through the baker's twine just because the box was so small. I thought that would work. All right, well, let me show you what I'm going to do for the tag. And I'm going to bring in another. Oh, do I have the set somewhere? This is from A Beautiful Friendship is where I got this So Very Happy to Know You stamp. And that is in the new catalog. And it's a beautiful stamp. It has lots of nice flowers and everything. And I had it here and now I can't find it. So, but I will post it on my blog after I'm finished so you get a chance to see it. Okay, I'm just going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And the width of it is 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to go ahead and take my sentiment. And I'm using the Memento Black ink, one of my faves. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp it right on. There we go. So Very Happy to Know You. I just thought that was a really nice little sentiment for the box. Now I'm going to just eyeball it and I'm going to cut off the rest of the tag. We don't need this whole thing. I really cut it pretty close to the sentiment. Didn't leave a lot of room. Okay, so that's what we have there. So Very Happy to Know You. Then I brought in a 1/2 inch strip of the gold foil, and this is available in the catalog as well. I love the shiny paper. We've got silver, we've got gold, and we've got lots of other pretty designer specialty papers that you can see in our catalog. And what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to just take a little bit of glue on the back of my sentiment, and I'm just going to adhere it here on the end of my strip of foil. Okay, there it is. And then I'm just going to go ahead. I let about a 1/4 of an inch stick out on both sides of the sentiment, just to give it a little of the gold foil look, just like the box. So that's what we're going for that. All right, so now we're ready to go ahead and tie up our box. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use some black and white baker's twine, easy for you to say. And I'm gonna take a lot because I actually doubled up on this box. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, I actually took the twine and doubled it before I started to tie the box. Okay, so I'm starting out with already having 2 strands of twine going around. And I'm actually gonna go around twice. And if you notice that the design of the box, it puffs out a little bit here at the back. And that's okay, because that's where I'm going to go ahead and do my tying. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go around the box 2 times. And then I'm going to bring it up here. And I'm going to go ahead and tie my bow. So this kind of keeps the box closed on the end there where it tends to gap open a little bit. So no one will know that we had to tie it down so it wasn't going to be all gappy in the back. So there I tied. Okay. Then I'm going to do a little bit of floofing here. Get my bow just the size I want. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to come in with my scissors and I'm going to cut the tails. I like to keep them a little long, if you notice here on all my other ones. And you can see how much thicker the bow is when we double up like that. I just thought that looked a lot better than just 1 strand. So that's a good thing to think about when you're using the baker's twine. You can always double it up and it makes a nice look on your box. So here we go. We have one more thing to do. We're going to take our label and we're going to go ahead and get a dimensional. And I'm going to stick it right on the back, right near the top or the right side of the tag. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide it in like this and put it right there. And it looks like it's tied to the string, but it isn't. So it makes it much easier that way. So that's it. They definitely easily hold the 2 truffles, but there's so many other things you can put in here. I think you could put a lipstick in there. You could put any kind of candy treat. Some jewelry would work. So anything like that would be great for this box. So if you are interested in the dimensions and everything, check back on my blog, the wexfordstamper.blogspot.com, and I should have all the directions up by the end of the week. I hope you enjoyed this, and next time we will be working with some more of the new product out of the new catalog, the Peaceful Poppy Suite we're going to be working with. So stay tuned. Next week we're going to be making a card and an explosion box using the Peaceful Poppy. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again soon. Keep stamping. Thank you.